We can all benefit from proverbs from our elders. Africa is the birthplace of human civilization and home to some of the most ancient wisdom on the planet. The continent of Africa is an extremely culturally rich region and home to over 2,000 languages, 3,000 ethnic groups, and numerous belief systems. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin, available on Amazon, is a compilation of over 100 ancient proverbs and words of wisdom from the continent of Africa. This must-read book provides a diverse and expansive collection of timeless, wise sayings and knowledge which have been collected from every region of Africa. This book is perfect for anyone interested in learning more about the African culture and expanding their knowledge of human experience. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Book of African Proverbs and Wisdom, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin. Go to Amazon.com and get your copy today.
Learn the ins and outs of IT and launch your IT career in just a matter of weeks with the help of Lifting the Veil IT Academy.
I took Lifting the Veil Academy with subs. Took a while, but I'm here. I made it. I'm now an SSRS developer. I started on the 13th, making a rate of $48 an hour.
Sign up for a free consultation and see where this industry could take you.
To learn more, go to www.ltvacademy.com. That's www.ltvacademy.com.
Alexis here, coming to you with an awesome sale of 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com. I provide services like digital art, logo designs, packaging designs, web designs, social media flyers, and much more. If you're an entrepreneur with a business or a startup company, make sure you take advantage of this opportunity, getting 25% off when you use promo code OHURU25 at alexisfowler.com.
At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Monday evening is going well. Do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit that like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Again, I would greatly appreciate that. Y'all are so awesome. Y'all are so awesome. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. And we're going to jump into today's topic right now. Well, first, we have a couple of announcements. Number one, tours. Senegal. Listen, if you are a last-minute person and you're like, you know what? I want to go to Senegal. Again, I want to go to Senegal last minute, May 21st to the 30th. You are more than welcome to join us in Senegal, May 21st to the 30th. Again, May 21st to the 30th. You are more than welcome to join us in Senegal. Go to donfo.africa to learn more. I need to update this. I need to change this. I'll make sure this is changed by Wednesday. I'll make sure that this is changed by Wednesday. Okay, so we'll make sure this is changed again. We'll make sure this is changed by Wednesday. This right here. So we're gonna get the change to get that updated. But again, Senegal, May 21st to the 30th. Nigeria, August 6th through the 15th. And then Zanzibar, November 12th through the 21st. We would love for you guys to join us. Come and join us. Come and hang out. Yeah. Come and join us. I don't know what else to say. Like, come and join us. Go to donfo.africa, DANFO.Africa. Go to donfo.africa, DANFO.Africa to learn more. And we're gonna jump right into today's topic. Well, tonight's topic: can Africans, immigrants, speak on FBA ADOS issues? And quite frankly, I say yes. And the reason why I say yes is because the United States of America, the country who our bones are buried in this country, the country in which, what else have I heard us take credit for? We have fought in every war. We have fought in every war. The country that we built. We meddle in the business of everybody else's. We'll meddle in the business of every other country. So if we're going to come and get involved and meddle and play Team America World Police, and us, FBA ADOS, we claim that, we built this country and we fought in every war and all this other stuff, and that we're the fabric of America and all this other stuff, then I guess, yeah. and knowing how America operates in regards to being Team America World Police, then yeah, I guess then other people can get involved in our business. So, just to keep it simple, we won't be here long, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. America never stays out of people's business. But listen, I want to open up the conversation early. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to click on the link and call in, you're more than welcome to. If you want to click on the link and call in, you are more than welcome to click on the link and call in. But yeah, if America meddles in everybody's business, if FBA ADOS, claim America and our bones are buried here, and what else? We fought in every war and we built this country and all this, then yeah, they could get involved in our business as well. So again, links in and then we celebrate all our immigrant chamber. Immigrant chamber, do me a favor. Turn your camera on because I don't know who you are. Turn your camera on. Let me see who you are first. And then once I confirm who you are and you're not a troll, then I'll let you on to the panel. But you got to turn your camera on first. I don't know who you are. Okay, well, you just sit back there in the waiting room. Guys, links in the chat room. If you want to call in, please click on the link. If you want to call in, please click on the link. As FBA ADOS, we pay our taxes, and our tax dollars contribute to the Team America World Police agenda. Our tax dollars do. So, indirectly, we're complicit. But listen, links in the chat room. Okay, Tiarka, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I seen nobody wasn't calling in, so I went on ahead and figured I'd step to the mic. But yeah, I think if you have like a delusion that Africans are not a part of you and you are not a part of them, you being self-delusional because a lot of things that we do in this culture comes from where we come from, the people that we come from. And that's a mixture of Africans, not just one particular tribe, and we can see if we go there on a tour with you, we can see a lot of those things that we do. We see the same mannerisms and all this stuff. We the same people, but a lot of us don't want to accept it. Now, some of us have Pan-Africanist ideals. A lot of African Americans, I'm talking about, have Pan-Africanist ideas that like we could just go over in the African village and start ordering things around, and it doesn't work like that. We got to respect the elders in their community, and whatever gifts we got to bring, it got to come through them first, kind of like, So it's the same way that if one of them coming trying to help, it's like, kind of like be humble. But I haven't seen any of them that to be disrespectful. It's just some African Americans got in their head that I'm ADOS or I'm FBA, and I gotta disrespect anything that's other than me. And you wrong for that because we the same people. Those are our cousins. You will look one of them in the face and see familiarity. You probably a part of that same tribe. You can get into finding your roots and learn about your ancestors. We shouldn't shut down our cousins from across the seas from any conversation that we're having. But go ahead. I'll let somebody else.
Okay, America's First Rifleman, go ahead.
I thank you, Dynast. That brother was Taharka was right on. My biggest thing is the reason why, and this is just my summation. I can be wrong, but it seems that they fight harder to stay around the white man than anything. Like their close proximity to whiteness seems to get them more animated than anything. So So they get mad at Africans for quote unquote speaking on ADOS and FBA issues. For one, they're black issues, so black people get to speak about black issues. That's number one. And number two, they get to say whatever they want. Since we talk about America so great and we're number one, but we got free speech supposedly, but Africans, they can't speak on it because it's disrespectful. And it's just lame as hell, man. It's
Is
we
what,
want
say it again. Is what? Say it again. Is what?
disrespectful. You know, like come on. It's just like come on. They like we got to stop acting like everything's perpetually like we're offended by everything, and it's just like people look for reasons to be upset. So that's all I'll really say. It's just lame as hell, and people are seeing through it.
All right, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button, and links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Hey, America's First Rifleman, did you see the altercation at the reparations panel? Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw only a couple minutes, but I saw Tariq looking like he's the damn trying to be Blade #2 or some shit. And it was just funny because you know all that stuff you talk about. Come on, family, and we together, and we got to work together, and all that. And your own people don't even like you. So, and most black people don't even know who Tariq is. So that's the funny thing. People try to inflate how famous this idiot is.
Tiarka, did you see the fight? Well, not the fight, but the altercation at the reparations panel? Like, is it Tiarka? Is it the white man's fault that they almost got into a fight at the reparations panel?
Well, I mean, I kind of like don't pay no attention to that stuff, you know, because I think that's a crazy argument. I don't think we set up any of us. I mean, in any class set up to receive any type of reparations. You know, I just don't believe that. And I know our history, and I know that before any Portuguese sailor, you know, took an African away from the motherland, you know, the Wolof would pick, not the Wolof, but the Jalanki was picking cotton for the Wolof and the Fulani. And the Oyo was enslaving or making the Dahomey bring them tributes of like 200 slaves a year or something like that. You know, and you know, on every coast, you know, it was a practice already going on. So but that doesn't excuse, you know, being kidnapped and trafficked over here to America and being treated like a farm animal. I mean, it does need that does need to be addressed. But you know, man, we around here twerking on the devil and you know doing all type of crazy. We not set up to receive anything yet, in my opinion. So I don't listen to those reparation arguments.
My biggest thing is like, look, you can't get your reparations from those African kingdoms that sold us. So it's just like move the hell on, man. Like, and plus there's already been recognized governments that have apologized and they're making amendments for it. What the hell else do you want Africans to do? You know, that's the thing about Black Americans. We ain't nothing good enough for us. Can't nobody apologize well enough. Can't nobody atone well enough. It's just like they sold us before. They gonna do it again. We can't trust them. Like, it's just foolishness, man.
I only brought that up to just bring about, just to set on the table my awareness of history, not to like criticize. From what I see from my analysis of history, slavery has been a natural human activity up until recently, where people been like, nah, we ain't finna allow that nobody to be enslaved. You know, but it's still going on. In India, it's still going on. In Libya, it's still going on. But the rest of the world, a lot of the world, you know, ain't finna treat people like that. But I just set that point on the table about you know, the white men couldn't go into Africa, bro. You know, the CC fly would kill them. They call Africa the white man's graveyard, literally. You know, because the CC fly, before they had the technology to inoculate, themselves from malaria, they couldn't go into Africa. You know, the kidnapping started somewhere. You know, I'm just bringing it into your perspective, not to criticize anything. I embrace my Africanness. You know, no matter what happened, I can't, you know, we haven't invented the technology to go back and change nothing that happened yesterday. So I ain't even tripping. You know, I'm in the present and I'm African in the present, not just pointing my fingers at African kings or Europeans.
Hey, the ghost of FBA, I need you to turn your camera on so I can see who you are first. Then I'll let you on. I need you to, because I get a lot of trolls calling in. So please turn your camera on. Okay, that doesn't show who you are. That's an anime character. It's an anime character. Okay, so you just sit back there. All right, links in the chat room. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on the link. If you want to call in, please click on the link, and you're more than welcome. To
Oh,
join.
I'll say one last thing, and I'll hop off. I'll let these other brothers and sisters speak. Look, y'all. Y'all running around talking about how Africans are disrespectful. We disrespect and kill each other all day, every day. So, there were just a few young black men that committed a mass shooting against our own people. Crickets. Only white people talking about it because they want to take your guns. But seriously, we need to worry about that stuff.
Was that today? Was there a mass shooting today or yesterday?
Ain't no telling, but I'm just talking about the one in Alabama, and there was like another one right after that where 3 young black men just shot up a party. Another one.
Oh yeah, that was in I think that was in Alabama.
Yes.
Oh, Florida. Yeah.
But there's another one that happened too.
It was like a birthday party or after prom party that in like 20 people got something crazy. A number amount of people.
Yep. But they won't talk about it unless a white man shoots somebody.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, thank you, Dynast. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to go on one of your trips next year.
Okay, cool, man. Love to have you. Yeah, man. We get a lot of trolls calling in lately, so I'm like, show yourself first. You know, then I'll let you on if you haven't called in before, because we get a lot of trolls who like to call in and just troll. Jesus.
I just want to say though, Dynast, in regards to reparations in California, I hope they get it. I hope, you know, whoever fighting for, I hope they get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, Italian cows don't eat magical grass, and what I mean by that is that a Louis Vuitton belt shouldn't cost you $500. You know, after somebody see you in it, after somebody see you in that $80,000 Mercedes, they see you in it 1 or 2 times driving by, then what? You know, after somebody see you in all that Gucci outfit that you wear 1 or 2 times, then what? That $80,000 on that Benz could be insecurities for the babies. All the knowledge we gathering is for the next generation. It ain't for us. That's why we're not ready for reparations, because the money is not for us. It's for the babies.
My bad, bro. My bad, FBA Ghost. My bad. All right, you can leave your camera off. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, they just came on. I let them roll.
Okay, go ahead, Alan.
As far as should non-FBA people talk about African American issues or FBA issues, I think if you're someone like myself who've lived in the United States, have an understanding of the issues, then you should be able to speak on them because you're black and you have a point of knowledge about the issues. This idea that just because of lineage, which we're not a separate lineage anyway, we shouldn't be able to go ahead and say, what we feel about certain issues. It's just false. I try to avoid the reparations issue because I know how people feel about it. But at the end of the day, I've always been pretty clear that none of us are getting reparations. And to spend wasting our time talking about it and putting all this energy behind it, I just think it's kind of a waste of time. White people have always paid themselves out and have never paid us. We have to go ahead and find a different strategy, which is why Pan-Africanism makes sense. And thinking that you're native to the soil and you're a Native American or you're whatever else these people come up with doesn't make any sense. Everybody sees through the hypocrisy of it. People see through the fact that you're claiming to be Native American, but yet you want reparations for African slavery. People can see through those types of things, and I don't think that I just think it's all a waste of energy and time for us. We have resources, we have partnerships we can make. We need to go make our way towards Africa or the Caribbean or wherever else you want to be. If you want to get something tangible. That's my view.
Hey, FBA goes. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? To the panel and to the chat. My opinion on it is simple. Unless you live in America and you've been through the Black Americanist kind of experience, I mean, then I think you can kind of maybe have some something to say. But like, I don't really. The opinion of people who don't live in America don't really even matter to me personally, because they didn't go through nothing that we went through over here in America, right? See what I'm saying? Like, everybody had their own different fights, right? See what I'm saying? So that's like me coming to your house, like, let's say a tornado hit your house and me coming in the last 30 seconds of the tornado hit and say, damn, your house fucked up, right? Like, I just got here. The only thing I saw was the last 5 seconds. I don't really know what happened before then, right? So unless you have some understanding of what was going on here in America, which most Africans don't, and they don't care. Let's be honest, they don't care. They come here to get their money and they go back home. I mean, that's what they do. They come back here, get their money, they go back home, build them a house, then they shit on, and they go back home and shit on the Africans that didn't come to America and tell them how lazy they are. That's what really Africans really do, bro. So I don't really see how their opinion necessarily too much matters like that. But when it comes to the conversation of reparations, if you want to go by that conversation, it need to be paid. And you see what I'm saying? If that's about, that's how I personally feel on it. You can write me my check. Now, I ain't trying to be here for it. Like me, I'm Mr. Uganda. Like, I'm always in Uganda. I'm always in East Africa. That's where I like to be at. But that's me though. But not everybody's me. And what else on that conversation? Them Indian Negroes are just. I don't know, bro. Them Indian people, we need to start shooting them folk, in my opinion, because they just too stupid to me. Like, I'm getting tired of these Chickasaw Indian Negroes that's just running around here. It's starting to get real heavy. So, other than that, I'm still on that part right there.
Okay, cool. What you thought? Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that everybody is owed a certain degree of reparations, but thinking that sitting around waiting on something like that to come when we know the white man's not sorry and the reparations aren't coming is just a waste of our people's time throughout the diaspora. I'm not just talking about African Americans. I'll say the same thing to people in Barbados. Even the people who deserve it the most, like Haiti, they're not getting reparations. What we need to do is we need to get on the Pan-Africanist platform and try to do what a lot of Black nations are doing now, partnering with other countries and making our own way. As far as some of these people talking about countries in Africa, they sold us, and kingdoms and stuff like that, that's just a cop-out that a lot of people have at trying to exclude other Black people. Those kingdoms, most of those kingdoms that sold us into slavery don't even exist, and don't have any real power. And
they're still there, bro. They still there. It's just, sorry for interrupting you, but they're still there, Alan. But they exist in the Berlin states. They don't have power though, sir. They don't have any power. Oh, yes, they do. for economics to go ahead and pay anybody back any reparations,
because everything falls broader government.
Listen, Alan.
Let me finish.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry about that.
Let you say it. What I'm saying is that, like, for instance, if you had a problem with a specific tribe that you thought was doing something within the borders of what is now Ghana, right? Ghana isn't responsible for what that specific kingdom did because the whole political map of Africa was completely different in those times. So it's not a one-to-one comparison. You can't say, well, the Ghanaians sold us or the Nigerians sold us, because those things were political designations made up by white people later, right? So what I'm saying is that that's just a cop out and a way for people to go ahead and to drive a wedge in the diaspora, and we need to be mindful of that, and we need to stop that. That's my main point. We already had apologies from several nations, right? In spite of the fact that I don't feel that they're responsible. They, you had Nana Addo went out there and he apologized, and that's something you'll never get from the United States government.
Right. I know for a fact that, the particular tribe that I belong to was heavily enslaving people, and
Tiark, are you Sierra Leone? What are you, Sierra Leone?
no, well, I'm African American by birth. I found out my ethnicity
Okay.
through DNA. Yes. Through DNA, but I've reached out. And I made connections, and I have daily connections with the people who my grandmother and grandfather was from. That's important to me because I am who I kind of like, I just know it isn't like a second thought to me about being African and trying to subdivide myself into an FBA or all that other type of category, because I have a little Indian blood or a little British blood or whatever. I am what my grandmother was at the point of her kidnapping. That's what I am, and that's why I am in America. And when I go to Africa, that's who I'm gonna be. That's who I am, So, but I just wanted to ask Alan, in forming something to start building something, you said we need to do it as Pan-Africanists, but in my opinion, I think we need to do it as multinationalists. What is your opinion about being multinational in our approach?
Well, about being Pan-Africanist would make you multinational, would it not?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yes.
Okay. That's where I am with that. it's Pan-Africanism. It makes you a multinational, but you're doing it in a way that is, consistent with whatever other people and other groups have done. Right? They work within the people within their group, regardless of where they are, and they, and in that way become multinational.
I'm a little bit against that. I'm with it, but against it. Like for me personally, I ain't out there helping West Africans. I ain't with that shit. For me personally, like I said, I'm Mr. Uganda though, bro. I go down. I'm all up in East Africa. I do work in East Africa, and I enjoy being there. So for me, that's just my personal look at it and take on it. Some people say, I don't give a damn. I gotta go back to West Africa and help, go back over there. But that's just you. Yeah, I mean, no love lost for you. You can go down there and help build a society. That's fine for you. I ain't got no problem with that. For me, necessarily, I am who my lineage is necessarily, right? My lineage go back to them killing fields in America, bro. And I got up from America and I went and started and built a new home in a new country, right? For me personally, it's you kind of have to kind of understand necessarily the grand scope of the world and history to kind of know what you want to do and know how you kind of want to live your life. But not many people either care, or the people that do care that don't. It depends if you care, if you don't care. It really depends if you care, if you don't care. If you care, then that may depends on how you may move. If you don't care, you look for the money. So for me, I'm more of a quote unquote where the money is, and I do care. So for me, that's why I went to East Africa. That's all.
I got you. Just a reminder though, and there's a Jamaican poet named Muta Baruka who always says that, sorry, that slavery, you don't descend from slaves. You are sorry about that. You don't descend from slaves. You are slavery is not your beginning of your lineage. It interrupted your lineage. So your lineage goes beyond the killing fields of America. It's one thing I want to remind you.
Oh yeah, I understand that, but that's why I said, bro, it goes beyond. Like I said, I ain't no fool. Trust me. Like I'm not one of these, like one of the slow ones in the back talking some stupid shit, right? See what I'm saying? But but I understand that concept. But for me, it is what it. I'm more of a matter of fact kind of individual. It is what it is, right? So I mean, unless I'm getting offered some decent amount of land, I ain't going no place in West Africa. You see what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. So for me, that's just my personal opinion. So that's how I kind of run my thing.
So why won't you go? Why won't you relocate?
For me personally, going to West Africa is the same thing like me going over here and making another invention for the United States government. I see that as basically the same thing.
Another who?
An invention. Like this. Let's say if you like some of the African American inventors, right? So like a lot of these dudes' inventions basically help to fuel the West to be the most dominant power it is today, right? I'm not gonna help fuel me personally. I'm not gonna help fuel the United States imperialism, right? That's just me, right? I'm not necessarily in the same thing. Like how I look at West Africans, I do the same thing. I'm not gonna help fuel their civilization. Now that's just my personal opinion. If you want to go do that, or other people want to go do that, I don't got no problem with them. Go do what you do. If that makes you feel cool, that makes you, going to Ghana or going to Nigeria and somebody patting your head and telling you this where we sold you off at, that make you feel better. That's cool for you. For me, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the time that we had together necessarily, but I'm going over here and I'm gonna do what I gotta do for myself and for my kids, for my lineage, and that's how I do it. Personally, me.
So you're not a Pan-Africanist. You have
I'm a Pan-African.
You're a Pan-Africanist with the West African grudge.
No, I mean, bro, I'm just not gonna get. I feel like this, bro. No, I'm gonna put like this, right? I'm applying this or not without being.
It's not.
No one came. I'm gonna put like to you like this, right? No one came and got us. We got ourselves, bro. Ain't nobody. That's a fact. So I'm not gonna go to nobody else's society and build up their society unless it's gonna be valuable for me.
Fair enough. I'll because I understand the attraction. And where do you say you're in Uganda? You said
Uganda, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice country. There's a lot of I'm very attracted to Rwanda because they just seem to be doing a lot of things right. Where a lot of bigger West African countries seem to get wrong. So I can understand that to an extent, but I don't bear any resentment towards West Africans and compare them to working for them as working for the white man. I would never do that. But from a purely economic standpoint, in terms of the direction a lot of those countries are headed in, I can see some of your point.
Tomato, man. I mean, you bow to one man, you bow to another. It's whatever. And I ain't gonna really get into the the depths of it. But if that's for you, cool. I don't got no problem with it. If, going to Ghana makes you feel cool. Going to Sierra Leone makes you feel cool. Going to Cameroon makes you feel cool. It is what it is. I ain't gonna stop you.
But it's your preference because if an African came here, y'all know from our community. Some people are not gonna give a care in the world that it's the African right there. Some people gonna turn their nose up and say, "Look, they go that funny looking African." Some people like us is gonna be like, "Hey, you African? Where are you from? What's your parents' name? How many brothers and sisters you got? What they do in your culture?" We're gonna be interested. It's the same thing if we go over there. Some people not gonna have a care in the world. Some people run up and embrace you, and some people go turn their nose up. But I do want to say, Alan, that a lot of those tribes are still in charge. That was that wasn't that long ago. People think that was it was really long time ago. There was a couple of generations, and a lot of those tribes are still there. They've been diminished, but a lot of them are strong. And you don't see it behind that corporate veil called Nigeria or Ghana or whatever the corporate veil is called. But they there, bro, and still powerful.
I get that. But again, the people who have the real money and the real ability to, to dole out any reparations would be the greater country, and that's not the government that was responsible for those types of things. It was smaller tribes, and you need to keep in mind also that they did pay a steep price for selling many of us off,
Yes,
and
sir.
us and being distributed into the Caribbean, into the United States and South America. They got it back in colonization, and so that is so I don't believe they owe me personally anything,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
from my perspective, historically they kind of victimized themselves. I would put it like this: I would rather be
That's your belief, though.
I'd
Remember,
rather be a
that's your
I'd rather
belief.
be a slave. I'd rather be a
Your
slave.
belief.
I'd rather be a slave in Barbados than to be a one of those ridiculous colonists in the Congo. That it's a,
Bro, you don't know what you're talking about, bro.
oh, I do. You need to read up on that.
Okay, I ain't gonna go to that conversation right now, especially on these internets. But go ahead, bro.
Got you.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Sandman. Hold on one second. D Red, turn your camera on so I can see who you are first before I let you on. D Red. Okay, cool. You can turn your camera back off. All right, go ahead, Mr. Sandman, and we pass it to D Red.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, as far as people, black immigrants that come to the United States, do they have the right to speak on ADOS or FBA issues? I mean, I think they had the right to speak on it if they're going to be a part of the solution instead of being a part of the problem. And what I mean by being a part of the solution is not only donating your funds, but donating your time to help, the issues that might be, you know, uh, having the issues that might be, inflicting the black people or ADOs that come from this country. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're just over here just to make a quick buck and then run back to your native land, then just go ahead, get your money, keep your head down and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna bother you for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But if you just go and jump rope in and hop in it real quick, you know what I mean? Just to be seen, just to be heard. You know what I mean? You're not helping the issue at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So anybody has the right to speak on it. You know what I mean? It's a free country. You know what I mean? This isn't a communist country. No one's going to get hung, or at least we used to get hung for speaking our mind. As black people, you know what I mean. Our ancestors got hung, but nowadays you shouldn't be getting hung for speaking your mind. So you had that right to do that, but at the same time, I think if you a mature adult, you know what I'm saying, and you from a different country, you should take the onus on yourself to be a part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem. If you want to talk on, the issues that inflict the ADOS and FBA here in the United States. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. You know what I mean?
All right, go ahead, D Red. Go ahead.
Oh shit, what it do, man?
Go ahead.
No, man, I kind of agree with what the last brother said a little bit, but I think that as a brother that been to the continent, you know what I'm saying? It's some solid stomp down brothers over there that's with it. Then it's some I had some issues when I went too. But I think that what's needed is I think a lot of times, because as a person that grew up with Pan-Africanist grandparents, the whole nine yards, seeing it from the root as growing up, I started seeing it and understanding that a lot of times people try to connect to the continent, especially if they don't have like some kind of rooting here. What do I mean by that? If you like my uncle founded a group in Memphis called the Black Organizing Project, right? In the Invaders. I had family members from Mississippi that was in an organization called the Regional Council of Negro Leadership. Groups you probably never heard of, right? because groups like the Panthers, they got all of the whatever. But it was other groups. Each group had their own state or two or three states that they pretty much did their thing in that the Panthers really never penetrated. So what I'm saying is, once you know that you don't have to go a million miles away to have something to be proud of, and you know your Black American history, because I think another brother said a lot of times they don't know the history. A lot of us don't know the history. That's the reason why a lot of us keep always equating our greatness to Kemet, or to the Songhai Empire, and those things are great, and some of us do have genetic connections to that. But if you don't know who Moses Dixon is, but you know who Askia Muhammad is, it's a problem. If you don't know who Henry Highland Garnett is and what he did, but you can tell me about all the pharaohs in Egypt, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Because these people paved the way and gave us the foundation of which we stand on to be here in America. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like the brother said, I hate to say it, a lot of the brothers and sisters on the continent don't care because a lot of us over here in America don't care. You see what I'm saying? So I think that what we got to start doing is each group, you know what I'm saying, need to get hyper focused on their own particular issues. Black Americans, we got our own particular issues. You know what I'm saying? And then the brothers on the continent and sisters on the continent, they got their issues. They get hyper focused on their issues. The brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, the brothers and sisters in the Pacific, we get hyper focused on our own issues. Then we come together once when people starting to get it together. Then we form vote for them when we need to. You see what I'm saying? That's the most prominent way when you look at what the Panthers did. The Panthers were hyper focused on what was going on in Oakland. They spread because what they were doing was effective. The freedom schools, that was effective. The breakfast programs, that was effective. J. Edgar Hoover said that the Black Panthers breakfast program was more dangerous than all their guns. You see what I'm saying? So what they were doing was effective, so it spread. So what I'm saying is, but they were laser focused on what was going on in that particular area. You see what I'm saying? And once we do that, I think it'll spread and it'll get infectious. But I think a lot of the times, and I'm gonna keep it gangster, a lot of people become Pan-Africanism to escape the responsibility of taking care of what's going on in your immediate community right now. You know what I'm saying? The charity start where you stay at. I can't do nothing. I can't put out the fire in your house if my house is burning. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think we be forgetting that our house over here in America is burning. We just sent 2 truckloads of water to Jackson, Mississippi. Them people, brothers, still don't got water. You see what I'm saying? The Flint water still messed up. But we'll skip the responsibility to take care of those brothers and sisters who are here, and we'll go somewhere else and be worried about them. We can't do that right now. You see what I'm saying? We got to focus on getting our brothers in the STEM programs. You see what I'm saying? And teaching STEM. You see what I'm saying? We got to focus on that. We got to get our politics right. We need to create us a PAC and a super PAC. You see what I'm saying? We need to get our education right. You see what I'm saying? We got to focus on us right now. So, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Just like I think the brothers and sisters on the continent should be focused on them, and they shouldn't be worried about us. They shouldn't be, because they got their own set of issues. And I yield with that.
All right, let me bring on African Anti-Garvey. Turn on your camera. Let me confirm. Let me see who you are before I let you on the panel. In the back in the waiting room, African Anti-Garvey. Turn on your camera.
Can I say,
Alan? Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah,
I'm about to say a few things too, though. But okay, I'll go first and real quick. I mean, necessarily, I understand what you're saying. Why people act like y'all can't multitask, bro? Like, I swear we act like we can't multitask. Like, you can do more than one thing at one time, right? I think y'all must be understanding. White people then basically get control over the planet, or majority of the planet, necessarily by not being able to multitask, right? They can do more than one thing at the same time and still focus on what they supposed to be doing, right? They can put like 60% of energy in this, 40% in that. 30% energy in this, 70% in that, right? You can do multiple things. Now, you're not going to quote unquote beat white supremacy or any supremacy of any other group necessarily by just focusing on yourself necessarily when they got quote unquote when they pulling from their entire group and their entire diaspora. That's stupidity. So you basically, you know what I mean, that's like you playing your I don't know, that's like playing football, but I don't know, using your nose tackle or some shit like that to run the ball or to catch balls or whatever. It's not, you can do it, but it's not going to really be that effective, right? So you need to be out on how to multitask, right? Now the question is, what do you need to be doing? You need to be gaining information, knowledge, and resources, bro. And bringing those. If you're gonna live in America, if you go that route, I'm not personally me. But if you're gonna go that route, do you need to understand what you're dealing with in America? And I don't think people in America really understand. At least Black Americans, they don't really understand what America is and where that shit going in the next 5 or 10 years. So personally, I tell you, you probably need to necessarily understand that and then understand global politics. But that's kind of a big game. A lot of people ain't got the time to really do that. And the people who got the information that can help, like myself, I'm not regularly always making content, and I'm not always in America. So it is what it is on that one.
No, it's finally I agree with pretty much everything the brother just said. We're in one accord on that, and it took the words right out of my mouth. The only thing I was going to add is that we've been integrated into a burning house, as Martin Luther King said, when he at the end of his life realized the mistake of integration. And so what I feel like I'm hearing people advocate for is, hey, it hasn't worked these few hundred years, let's just try again. We can finally do it here in America. And I just don't see that happening in mass, because as a minority, you're just always going to have a certain status that you're going to have to deal with, and have powers that can impede your progress.
Basically,
I think that's something that people need to think about. Do you really think that you're thinking of something that your ancestors did not?
Nah, but I mean, like, let's be honest, but like, I understand this conversation. Like, if you can't even hold no ports in this country without the United States being like, yeah, we're gonna close that port.
Correct.
Like, you see what I'm saying? So you can't even get resources in necessarily, or out, or vacuum resources in, or put resources out necessarily, right? Without that base thing of trade, you really can't do much without no civilization can survive without trade, because trade is the lifeblood of any civilization. Like, you saw what happened when when the economy closed and couldn't nothing move, everything went down. Like, I mean, you thought it was the end of the world, right? So unless you understand these concepts, you don't understand. You're not in the position mentally necessarily to be quote unquote saying what you need to do and what you not need to do, unless you understand these fundamental blocks on which civilization is built on and how it's maintained. Right? That's just my understanding. That's not my understanding, but that's just my that's just facts, right? So
Yeah,
unless you understand these forces, you're not equipped really to necessarily do that. For my personal opinion, like I said, you take your ass to East Africa, see what I'm saying, maintain your some your things in America though. I mean, still maintain that though, and just come back when you get a little bit more bite to your buck, and then say, now you owe me reparations or else. You know what I mean? That's really gonna have to be how you kind of pull that shit if you really gonna try to go that route. If you're gonna go that route, you know what I mean? But that's just me.
It's not just you. Those are facts, and you hit it on the head. You can't. We are, the mistake we've made is we've been convinced. We've allowed certain groups in this country, Black groups in this country, to convince us that we're a nation within a nation, and that idea that you can be a nation within a nation and yet still have to follow the rules of the greater nation just doesn't make any sense. And that's what's always going to be in the way of significant progress. Now, what we've made progress, you can live a great life individually here in the United States, but collectively, this idea that you can be, this nation, and that was proven, because the Nation of Islam have been saying that for years, that they're a nation within a nation. And then when Gaddafi offered them hundreds of millions of dollars in aid, and it was going to send it to the Nation of Islam, all that the United States had to do was say, you're not allowed to take it. It was just that simple. So we've tried it that way, The best way for you to make a major impact is to be able to have some sort of connection someplace else, that with people who are running it that look like you, and you trying to integrate within those societies.
Yeah, but that makes no sense. Because if the people that look like them was doing such a good job, the people, when you talk to the people that come here, they say the reason why they come here because the people that look like them are running the country in the ground. So then what you gonna go over there and do what?
Is that every country is being run into the ground? I think the brother FBA Ghost has identified a region of the continent which things are being run more smoothly.
Okay, where is that at?
I say East Africa. I say the East African Federation. I say East African Federation.
Okay, the East African Federation. Okay,
yeah, look that up,
you know, but you know, we got a high influx of East Africans coming from Somalia in places like
that's not
Minnesota.
part of the
You
East
see that,
African
right?
Federation, bro.
Okay.
That's not even. See what I'm saying? You don't even know.
Again, but brother, you still don't prove nothing because why ain't
Somalians
wrong,
bro? They not part of
brother, you're not trying to open your mind.
You just said wrong, bro.
Brother, why ain't Somalia part of the East African Federation?
The equivalent of what you just said. The equivalent of what you just said. I said, give me a candy apple. You gave me a pear.
Why isn't Somalia part of the East African Federation?
Bro, ask Somalia that, bro. I'm not the king of Somalia.
Okay, well, I mean, you're advocating for this.
I say East African Federation, bro. I said, but that's like me saying,
brother, most of us are not East African. Most of us are not East African. Most of us come from West Africa.
Bro, you're just all over the place, bro. Like what?
I'm not all over the place. I'm asking simple questions. So we're from West Africa.
Somalia is not part of the East African Federation the same way Morocco
is not part
of ECOWAS. You know, same reason why Cameroon is not part of ECOWAS. You know, it's not part of it.
See that's some low IQ questions, bro. Them low IQ. That's what I'm saying,
brother. But it's not a low IQ question, brother. Because I can ask you a simple question: do you know who Henry Highland Garnett is and what he did for Black Americans?
I can look. I don't think I know that name specifically.
No, you don't. Do you know who Moses Dixon is? Do you know who Moses Dixon is and what he did for Black Americans?
Moses Dixon is though, bro. Like I know
what he do. What he do for Black Americans? What he do?
You're shifting the conversation.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because what I'm explaining is you can tell me about what's going on in East Africa, but you can't tell me shit about what happened here in America. That's the point.
You asked me one person.
That's my point.
Bro,
you don't know
selective,
about Black American history. I'm not.
You're being selective, bro.
What I'm trying to tell you is,
ask me one name.
Just because you know,
you asked me the second name. I said I knew.
And then
you said give me a quiz on this person. I said I can give you the information that I do know. I don't know every individual, bro. Like bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's so many Black men who did so much great shit, bro. It's crazy, bro. I know a lot of people. I don't remember all these people names by heart, bro. I remember majority of the people, but I don't know all these people, bro. No one in the world knows all the people, bro.
You pivoted better than Ebony K. Wilson did this week. What I'm saying, what the brother said was, he said the East African Federation, and you named a country that wasn't in it, and instead of acknowledging that you named a country that wasn't in it, and then to focus more on what he was actually advocating for, you changed the subject and pivoted. That's what happened.
Deflection, but the point, it wasn't deflection, brother.
That's literally the object of the.
I'm explaining you the point. The point is, I don't really care what's going on over there, so it don't matter to me. I care about what's going on over here in our history here. But my point was, you know more about what's going on over there than what you know what happened here. That's the point.
I just said I knew, but I
said that before that, and I asked you, what did he do? You never said what he did,
bro, because you started interrupting me, man.
No, I'm not gonna argue. Your cheerleader started interrupting you.
No, you interrupt. Like, see, this is why I say, like, some people can't have conversation because they don't know enough big information to do it, right? Like I said, how you gonna open a trick? No, like, I asked you a quick question, right? I asked, like I said, bro, right?
You know, question. You were just talking.
Like I presented. My bad.
What did Moses Dixon do?
Like if I present something, like I said, simple thing. Like, how you gonna open up a port in the United States of America, right? Right? You can't open up a port in the United States without America without some red tape being basically said. It'd being done, right? It's been done multiple times necessarily, even for Marcus Garvey to other people try to open up ports up here. The United States will close it necessarily, or they'll just kill the person who got the money, or they'll take the person who got the money like they did for Gaddafi what did he do? Was it Libya? I think it was Libya, right?
Libya.
See what I'm saying? Because you ain't got the military might to goddamn, see what I'm saying, not to get nuked, right? That's really it. That's reality,
Okay,
right?
so if people fled, but what I'm saying is, so if people fled to Libya and America got the might, they can shut it down no matter where you go, right?
No, you asked
that's how they use the International Monetary Fund to pose sanctions on African countries now, right?
Bro, and that shit is failing as we speak, don't we?
Bro.
Yeah,
Are you aware of BRICS, and are you aware of all the things that are going on with the petrodollar and things of this nature?
What about it?
That affects whether or not these sanctions can really take effect. So right now, the United States wants to impose sanctions on Uganda if they pass a law that's
anti-LGBTQ. I know.
Right. So, but that's not going to be as effective anymore because there are other sources that a place like Uganda can get the money and the aid from. It's because the United States' influence and our dollar is not what it used to be. We're not the only game in town anymore. Is what we're trying to say to you. And so, you know, this idea that the United States is all powerful and they can go around the world and they can tell people what to do and stuff like that. That's coming to a fast end.
But you're still borrowing and getting assistance from other countries.
Bro, everybody needs help from somebody, bro. Every country, even the United States, don't even stand by itself, bro. Even this country can't stand by itself, bro. So what you saying? So we know China,
brother. We know that. I mean, it's like y'all.
But you just said it.
We know that. But we know China. But we know how China treat the people that they help, don't we?
Well, bro, what the China has not. I'm not gonna go through this conversation with you, bro.
Sorry. China treats the people much better than the West does. The United States
says who though?
Well, says the people who help you in that says the people. Oh, I got this one. Says the people necessarily for the last 500 years that has made sure that Africa did not necessarily move a iota in 500 years necessarily, and in the same goddamn time period in 100 years, bro. No, 60 years, bro. The African continent had necessarily double in population, double in the resources they was able to get in manufacturing, bro. Now you may not like the Chinese. I don't personally like the Chinese either. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not stupid enough to understand to take an opportunity where I can see one, bro. Like I mean, you ain't got to be my friend necessarily, but if you can help me get to a position I need to get to, so I can do what I need to do, we can. So you think the Chinese are coming in to do Africa the way they did Ghana with the whole cocoa shit? The what?
Well, they actually people stole it. They started mass producing cocoa to put the Ghanaians out of business. That type of shit,
bro. That's for the cocoa for situation. I think the cocoa has already been a Ghanaian thing for a long different time. The problem with the cocoa in Ghana and all these other regions is not necessarily the other countries, right? They don't have a monopoly. Or they don't necessarily set their price and keep their price. They all trying to undercut each other. So it's real easy necessarily to pit one against the other when they not working together though. See, that's not cooperating. That's not China's fault. That's Africans not cooperating, bro. If you have the monopoly, right, on all the cocoa on the planet, bro, just like you have the oil giants, so they have a monopoly on the oil, bro. They said they set the price of the oil. If you want the oil from them, it is what it is, bro. If Africans say this is the cocoa price and this if you want cocoa, and this it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. So it's you know saying that it's different between bad governments necessarily, right, or bad governance. Right, that's what I'm saying, right? Bad governance, right, and quote unquote and being exploited. Like it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like OPEC, they don't have the military might to stop people, but they set the price, bro. Like Africans can set the price on diamonds. Like South Africans set the price on diamonds, bro. They can. Every diamond that comes from majority of the world comes from South Africa, bro. If a South African government say, you know, we ain't letting these diamonds go, and end up like that in Namibia, my bad. That in Namibia has the most diamonds. So if they say, oh, we ain't letting no diamonds go for less than what is it, $15,000 per what's a gram or whatever, however you want to do by the weight. It is what it is, unless you want to come over there and kill a whole bunch of people and take it. Facts.
All right, listen. Links in the chat room. If you guys want to call in after the conversation, you're more than welcome to. We're gonna, stay on for like another 15, 20 minutes and we'll close out. So links in the chat room. If you want to call in, go ahead, click on the link.
Awesome.
Also,
hey,
you have
thanks,
to be.
thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on, man. I do have to go, man. But it was a great conversation, great panel, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the conversation. I may jump back in. I may come back on my computer because this is my phone. Because I'm still be with FBA Ghost, but the name may change a little bit. So, but I appreciate the conversation, Diners, man. I may see you out there in Africa. I may not be on your part, but I'm definitely be around though. I see you, my man.
Okay, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. With that being said, we'll go ahead and close out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.